Hi guys, it's me, Skylar Capri, and today we're doing part 2 of my Bath & Body Works 2026 Summer Semi-Annual Sale Survey Spoilers, the longest title of a video on my channel. But if you watched part 1, that is where we covered the warm and woodsy fragrances, so things like Bonfire Bash and Midnight Amber Glow. And today we're covering the categorized treats and sweets fragrances, which is one of my favorite categories. So that said, if you're returning to my channel, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. We do all things body care on my channel, so if that sounds like something interesting to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's dive right on into the video. All right, you guys, I'm gonna sit on this side of the screen and put some images up right here. Regarding the spoiler information, it was sourced off lifeinsidethepage.blogspot.com. And as always, in the description box down below, I will have a direct link to the post that I was looking at for this video. Now, if you missed part 1 of this video and really what I mean by survey spoilers, last year, towards the end of the summer semi-annual sale for 2025, Bath & Body Works put out a survey basically asking rewards members, hey, what would you like to see us bring back for next year's summer semi-annual sale? Now, they gave us a list of fragrances that were categorized by maybe treats or sweets, which is the topic of this video, warm and woodsy, which I already did, or maybe things like juicy and fruity, or fresh and bright, or botanical, or fresh and clean. They basically gave us a bunch of different categories, and for those categories, a list of 6 or 7 scents we could vote on. Now, for this video and why I mentioned the blog that I mentioned, the blog that I mentioned did recently put out a post of original release dates for a couple of fragrances. Now, some of these fragrances were also part of this survey, and so I basically just wanted to go through for awareness and just kind of bring you back up to speed what all we voted on, and then based off this post from Life Inside the Page, something we could possibly see back at this year's semi-annual sale. Again, these are all very rumored, all very alleged. We're still more than a month out from the semi-annual sale, so still a long ways to go, and we will have the fragrances confirmed, I believe, very shortly. But I just want to be clear about that, and I'm also not an employee of Bath & Body Works, nor affiliated in any way, so this is more so for awareness and just kind of what we voted on and what could possibly come back. So very much rumors. I don't want to get anyone like too excited or spread any false information at all. This is simply just some awareness and what I'm seeing from some sources online. That said, for the treats and sweets section, we were able to vote on 6 fragrances last year. Now, I will be very honest with you. I thought we were missing a lot of the treats and sweets that I would put in this section, and some of these fragrances I wouldn't personally categorize as a treats or sweets product. So let me know in the comments down below once we go through all the fragrances if you have like, oh, I agree with that, or I don't think that one would belong in treats and sweets. But of the 6 products, I will say right off the bat, 2 are not really my favorite, and those are the 2 we're starting with, but I do have some favorites towards the end. So this is not going to be a negative video. It just so happens that the 2 I'm starting with aren't my favorite. So starting out with the first fragrance, we voted on Among the Clouds. Now, Among the Clouds has just 2 scent notes, and it is Wild Berry Skies and Whipped Vanilla Clouds. Now, I will be 100% honest with you guys. I don't remember this fragrance. I have no idea what this smells like. I'm assuming it's just like your basic berry vanilla, probably distantly related to like a cotton candy clouds, but I never ended up buying this one, and I simply cannot remember what this smells like. So for that reason, I didn't vote on this one. Like, I didn't vote on this one in particular, but I know a lot of you did vote for it. So if you can leave a better description in the comments down below, I would really appreciate it. The next one, though, is one that I definitely didn't vote on because this one was featured in my Scents I Don't Like video, and it's going to be Pumpkin Pecan Waffles. Now, Pumpkin Pecan Waffles has notes of maple syrup, golden waffles, pumpkin spice, and brown sugar. Unfortunately, for me, this really is just a syrup smell. I don't get anything about the pumpkin spice, the brown sugar. Like, I don't get a gourmand. I really just get straight up syrup, and the concept of like showering in syrup like just kind of grosses me out. So I've never never picked this one up in the body care. Now, special note on seeing this one, Pumpkin Pecan Waffles for a couple of years did come out consistently as a seasonal fall release. So this was one almost like a winter candy apple, but in the fall version, something that we could expect year after year after year. But if you know about the Bath & Body Works kind of bring back system, usually their bring backs are focused around their semi-annual sales. So this got me thinking, is Pumpkin Pecan Waffles officially a discontinued scent that we're only going to see as bringbacks rather than a fragrance that's going to come out year after year after year? If you remember back last year of the fall, so the fall of 2025, not only do we not get Pumpkin Pecan Waffles back in the body care, this is also the first year in kind of, I want to say at least maybe 5 or 6, because I buy that one consistently. We also did not see Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte back. So I'm not exactly sure what is going on with the pumpkin body care, but I was a little bit concerned that even though I don't like this fragrance, seeing it read as almost discontinued did make me a little bit concerned about my all-time favorite Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte, which is such a good fall staple lineup item. So a little bit sad to see that one being considered almost a bring back, but as it's not a favorite fragrance of mine, I definitely did not vote on this one. The next one though, this is one that I would love to see back, and this is going to be Sweet on Paris. Now, Sweet on Paris, I believe it originally debuted maybe late 2010s, and I want to say it was re-released maybe once, because I remember this coming out in a trio where I think it was Paris Amour, Sweet on Paris, and then maybe like Paris Nights. I remember Paris Nights having like orange and blue packaging, like the striped packaging. I'll put it up on the screen if I can find the image that I'm talking about. But if you guys have been watching my videos really the entirety of this year so far, and especially these spring videos, this one has notes of juicy blackberry, lemon meringue, and creamy vanilla. I feel like I've talked countless times how I really wanted Gingham Vibrant back, which is a true blackberry style fragrance, how Black Raspberry Vanilla is one of my favorite fragrances that really has that juicy, deep kind of blackberry note paired with the vanilla. And then also in another one of my videos, maybe it was like a discontinued favorites or scents that we need to see back, I talked about how we're really lacking like lemon and citrus in the current lineup. I would have loved to see like Ice Lemon Pound Cake or Sparkling Limoncello or Fresh Amalfi Lemon back. So if you mean you're giving me a blackberry lemon meringue and creamy vanilla fragrance all in one go and packaging it in this beautiful kind of mint Sweet on Paris packaging, I would love to see this one back. Super excited, would love to see it back. We'll have to wait till the end of the video though as to see the rumored one that was selected from this list. Now the next one we have is going to be Almond Blossom. This is something that I wouldn't necessarily categorize in that treats and sweets, but it is a solid fragrance. This one has notes of sweet almond oil, vanilla orchid, and cashmere musk. I do just have other fragrances that are somewhat in this category that I would prefer to Almond Blossom, but I know a lot of people love this because it's extremely wearable, it layers really nicely with a lot of things, and it's more of an everyday style fragrance. It's not like a Pumpkin Pecan Waffles that a lot of people maybe just associate to one season. You can really wear this one year round. So again, this is a nice fragrance, but when I'm thinking treats and sweets, I'm definitely thinking something more like traditionally bakery or a little bit more gourmand. So I didn't vote on this one. In this one, I'm like 50-50 on if I'd like to see it back, but it's a good fragrance nonetheless. The next one though is going to be Wrapped in Vanilla. This one has notes of soft vanilla, velvet sugar, and chantilly cream. I know so many people want this one back. Now last year in 2025 for the summer semi-annual sale, we did receive something that launched in this same collection as Wrapped in Vanilla, which was Blush Cardigan. So Blush Cardigan and Wrapped in Vanilla launched together. I want to say Wrapped in Vanilla was more popular than Blush Cardigan, but since they brought back Blush Cardigan last year, I don't know if they were like, okay, this one did really well, we should probably bring the other one that released alongside that one back out, which would be this Wrapped in Vanilla. I think vanilla is nice as a fragrance in general. I just don't happen to be someone that like really enjoys vanilla style fragrances. So like a Vanilla Bean Noel was definitely more of my sister's thing, while I was definitely more of a winter candy apple person. I'm not someone that really enjoyed like vanilla romance. That wasn't for me. Did not like the cardamom note in that one. And then warm vanilla sugar is just kind of okay. But out of all the vanillas, I do enjoy Wrapped in Vanilla. I think it's a solid fragrance, and if you do like vanilla, I think you're gonna really like something like this. For me personally though, I'm just not enough of a generic kind of vanilla fan to want this one to come back. But I think it's a nice fragrance and I can like respect it from afar. Similar to like a Midnight Amber Glow, I'm not a fan of coffee smells or coffee fragrances, but if you like coffee fragrances, I can see how you would like that one. Now the last one though, this is one that I would definitely love to come back, and that is going to be Beach Nights. Not only does Beach Nights have the most perfect packaging, there's something about this that just is almost like emotional and nostalgic in a way. Anytime I see this packaging, I just think of like the week before school, like the sun setting, the summer's coming to a close. I have always really enjoyed this packaging and have been waiting for them to bring this one back. Fingers crossed, every time they do a summer release for me, I'm hoping Beach Nights will be a part of the lineup. That said though, Beach Nights has notes of toasted marshmallow, sea salt breeze, s'mores accord, beach driftwood, and creamy vanilla. This is something that I would categorize as treats and sweets, as it definitely leans more into that gourmand from the s'mores accord and the toasted marshmallow. But something I really love about this fragrance is that it's super balanced with those other notes of the driftwood, the creamy vanilla, and the sea salt breeze. This is a very wearable gourmand. Pumpkin pecan waffles goes way too gourmand for me. Same with like a vanilla cafe, even a strawberry pound cake. Just the gourmand notes really overtake the fragrance. However, with something like a Beach Nights, I find that it's extremely balanced, and this is such a perfect scent for the summertime. I feel like this would be a great release to bring back for the semi-annual sale. Now, real quick, briefly, before we do kind of announce the rumored returning fragrance, again, all very alleged at this time, when I am thinking of a treats and sweets category, there were a couple that I didn't see on this list that I definitely would have loved to see. One would be like a Santa's blueberry shortbread. Another would be something like a sugared cherry crisp, or like a margarita cupcake or pink velvet cupcake, like more of these traditional bakery items, like a berry waffle cone or like a raspberry jam donut. Like more of that category for me is how I would define treats and sweets. So I thought this section was a little bit lackluster. Really, for the treats and sweets, I guess the pumpkin pecan waffles, maybe the sweet on Paris from the lemon meringue, and then the Beach Nights would really classify as like a treat for me. But I definitely think there was a lot of room for opportunity in this kind of category that we just didn't see this year, but we're still holding on hope that we'll see a lot of those come back in the future. Now announcing the very rumored fragrance. Again, we don't really know, but this is just kind of awareness as to what people think is going to be picked, and that is going to be the Wrapped in Vanilla fragrance, so the 5th fragrance that we talked about. This one was launched in 2022, and we have not seen it back since. We have not seen it repackaged since. So this is one that we haven't seen for a couple of years. I do always get excited when it is something that was very popular for the time and it does eventually make its way back into stores. This is also one in particular that a lot of people really like to reference. So they really like to use this in their, layering combos in their routines, or they take a bunch of fragrances to make this fragrance. So I'm super excited that if this is going to be the one chosen, it's going to be very accessible for people that have heard so many good things about it. For me, it's not really that exciting because I'm just not a vanilla person, but I do think that this is a good fragrance nonetheless. And I wouldn't be surprised if my sister, who's a massive vanilla fan, she loves vanilla romance, warm vanilla sugar, I think it's the warm musk from the Musk collection, really the Sol de Janeiro 62, the Tree Hut, Tahitian Vanilla. Like, she is a true vanilla girl through and through. She's probably going to love this one if this is the one that ends up coming back. Me personally though, and if you've been watching my channel, I definitely lean more into kind of the fruity, kind of floral or fresh fragrances, or more of the traditional like fruity gourmands or like a beach nights gourmand. So you guys, that really wraps up this video. Again, this is more so for awareness rather than like a specific pinpoint as to what's coming, simply because we have nothing confirmed yet and we're still quite a ways out from the sale. But regardless, I do like to get these videos up as early as possible so you do have awareness into not only the voting pool in case they choose another one, or the rumored fragrance for you guys to be able to budget and start inventorying a little bit early. But that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, found it helpful, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.